Hey folks, Jeff and Lorena here at Back to Country. So what are we doing today? Well, we're working on the dump truck still. So if you've been following along, you know we started with a clutch that went out and we tore that all apart. And upon doing that, we discovered all this rust here in the cab of the truck. So yesterday we fabricated a new piece to replace that centerpiece, and today we're cleaning things up. So we've got a hand grinder here with a flap disc on it, and what we're going to do is just basically sand all this rust out, try to get all this rust out of here so we can then put a little coat of paint over it, and then we're going to put some bed liner in it. So we're going to use a bed liner product. We'll show that when we get to it, and we're going to coat this all with a good coating of bed liner, and then we'll go ahead and put the sound insulation rubber floor mat back in, put the seat back in here, and get her put back together, and we'll be ready to use the dump truck again. So stick with us. As you can see, we had quite a bit of rust to get out of there. It wasn't too bad with the flap disc, but the problem we ran into was trying to get the deep pits out. You just couldn't sand it without cutting holes in the metal. So on the deep areas, we started using this Rust-Oleum rust remover and gave that a shot. It seemed to work pretty good, but still some of the deepest areas, there was just too much rust for one treatment. So we ended up doing it twice. There you can see some of it after the fact's come off pretty good. It worked out all right. So yesterday we did a rust treatment on this, and it looked pretty good when we were done with it. But part of the process is you got to wash it out with water. So we hosed this thing out and then dried it with towels. But it's so cold that even drying it, it's not really dry. And so this is what we come to this morning. You can see everything is covered in surface rust. So in less than 24 hours, everything that was completely clean or mostly clean yesterday is now covered again in surface rust. The good news is that'll all sand off. What we were really trying to treat is these deeper pitting areas, and you know, some of them were much improved, but they still need more attention. So that's what we're going to do this morning, is hit it one more time with that rust remover and see if we can't get some of these deep pitted areas a little bit more cleaned up before we go to the next step. So that's where we're at. So once we finished with our second treatment of rust remover, we were pretty happy with the results. So then we gave it a coat of this Rust-Oleum rust reformer. Supposedly it'll convert any remaining rust, kill it, whatever it does, but it works just like a primer. But we didn't know how well that would work against the U-pol Raptor Bed Liner as far as adhesion. So once we finished that, then we, that first thing we had a beer. That was the end of that day. We came back later and we hit it with this acid etch primer from Raptor. And we mainly focused on all the areas where there was pitting and rust and stuff like that, where it had been. We had removed 99% of it. So we gave it a coat of that, and then once we finished with that, then we used another Raptor product, this adhesion promoter, and put a coat of that on there so that hopefully the bed liner would stick. Then we went to mixing our bed liner. The Raptor Bed Liner by U-pol was a very easy product to use. As far as mixing goes, you open the bottle, dump in enough hardener to fill it to the line, and then you put the lid back on, shake it up, attach it to your application gun, and spray it. It sprays on pretty thick like a texture product. It provides a nice bed liner type texture. Seemed to be a really good product. We were real happy with the application of it. Product overall, how it dried. If I had any complaints about it at all, I would only complain about the thickness. In my pickup truck, I have a Line-X bed liner, and the Line-X bed liner is just a much thicker product than this. This is 2 coats, I think they say is about 12 mil. I don't know, my Line-X bed liner is probably 1/4 inch thick, so it's a lot thicker product. But this, of course, is way cheaper. So if I was doing a bed liner on my own truck, I'd probably still spend the money and use a Line-X bed liner. I really like the Line-X product. But if I couldn't afford it, this would be the next best option. And I would definitely apply 3 coats. I think 3 coats will get you about 16 mil if I remember correctly. So in my mind, the thicker the better. But definitely this product went on good. It was easy to apply, easy to work with, and I think it provided a great seal. I definitely think it's going to solve our rust problem. From the inside anyway. It's always possible that underneath there'll still be some rust. Maybe it'll even rust a hole up all the way through the floor, and then there'll just be liner there. I don't think it's thick enough though to provide much support, so hopefully that never happens. We'll keep an eye on it from underneath as well, I guess. Clean it up a little and prime it, whatever, if we have to, but I would recommend this product overall. Like I say, I'm real happy with pretty much everything about it. As far as how we're using it, I think it'll work great. If you're going to do it on something nice where you care about overspray and stuff, you can see there I just used a few lines of the blue masking tape because I wasn't really concerned with overspray. You can see there I'm getting it on my gas pedal and stuff. This is a dump truck. It's a work truck. This floor is not even visible because it's all covered under a thick rubber mat with soundproofing and whatever on one side of it. So it's not even visible. We just wanted a good strong product that would waterproof this floor and prevent rust in the future, help to make the truck last longer. It's a 1999 model, so it's already got some years on it, and it's a great truck, works great, so we want to keep it that way and keep getting many more years out of it. So we figured since we had it all tore apart, this was a great way to solve our problem and better manage it for future. So we'll see in another 20 years, I guess, but for now I think it's pretty good. And like I say, I was real happy with how easy it was to use, so definitely a product I'd recommend, and we'll, I guess, follow up if we ever have issues with it, but for now I definitely recommend it, like I say. Like I said, the product was really easy to use. You got a separate can there of hardener. You got these bottles of the liner. You pour the hardener into the bottle up to the line that's marked. Shake it up and it's ready to go. It's that simple. And then the spray gun, we bought it all together in a kit, and it worked great. Here we've obviously sped it up quite a bit because I didn't want to bore you with the same old thing. But it's like using a can of spray paint or anything else. It is very forgiving. It's not like painting a car or anything where you got to have actual skills. This is splattering on everything to give you a nice texture like a bed liner. So
Very easy product to use and apply. As far as cleanup goes, when we were done, we used acetone to clean our gun and everything. And it's ready to go again if we want to do some more in the future, or we can use the application gun for undercoating or something like that. Here's some pictures the next day. You can see I pulled the tape off, and you can see what I was talking about with the overspray. If you care about it, just put some paper up or something. That's all. It's no big deal. Like I say, this is a work truck, so I wasn't going for the beautification factor. I was just looking to protect it and make it last longer, and absolutely think I got that. You can see there's the pan that we built, and put that down with some self-tapping screws, and then we've got the floor mat and everything back in, put the seats back in, and she's good and ready to go back to work. As always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.